Hello. Hello. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to one and all. I hope you've all had a lovely Christmas and New Year's Eve wasn't as much of a complete letdown as it usually is. Right, so this is a good one.
Yes.
This is juicy.
So I was watching Queer Eye the other day and they were working on a dad who they'd split, so they were co-parenting, and it was basically, I think it might have been his ex-wife that had kind of called them in because he let himself go and he wasn't being the best father for their child, so she kind of wanted him to improve himself so he was a better parent. And at one point they were doing something and one of the guys turned around and said, oh, there's something so touching when a dad wants to do better. And I think what he was doing is the girl did ice dancing and he was going to her training and encouraging her. And I was like, he's showing up to watch his daughter ice skate and saying nice things to her. Like,
why is that touching?
Why does that deserve a round of fucking applause when that's what you should be doing? And I do feel like it's that, was it Chris Rock who did the thing about when dads are getting cheered or applauded for stuff that they should be doing? Do you know what I mean? And it is so true, isn't it? It's like when a dad actually just does what he should do.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't get a round of applause every morning when I get up, take the fucking kids to school, come home, work, do all the shit I've got to do, pick them up, take them to their classes, watch them, tell them they're great, cook them their dinner, clear up, then work. Then, you know, it's like, that's just what I do. I don't get anyone saying, oh, you're doing a really good job, you know, well done for doing that. It's like, why the fuck do men get a round of applause when they come and pick their kids up and take them out for the day?
Yeah. Do you know, it does make me laugh because I've got a WhatsApp group with some of my friends, and one of the girls shared a TikTok, and it was this, like, she's quite a popular TikToker, and she's got a little baby, and she owns a bakery, like she owns a business.
Yeah.
And her partner does a 9-to-5 job, and she like is an entrepreneur, and she's got a young baby like attached to her as she's ranting, and it was so funny. So she says like, she does it in that amazing sort of south, like from the south accent. I'm not even going to try. And she said like, every week I own a bakery. She went, I have a business and I run a business and look after the baby while he's at work, and that's okay. They like, she wasn't moaning about him.
Yeah.
He's a good dad. And she said, I go out to this big wholesalers with the baby and I load up like big gallons of like butter and, you know, all this like in this huge trolley, and she's only little and she's trying to like push it round, and she goes and does it all. She does it every week.
Yep.
Every week. And she's like, that's okay, that's for my business, that's okay. And she said one time I couldn't do it for whatever reason, and her husband went and did the same, and she went, and he said it was uncomfortable for him for the amount of comments that were made about how, oh, look at you. She said someone went, that's a real ass baby. Like, yeah, he's my son. And they're like, wow, look at you, like with your trolley full of, and your baby, look at you. Like, and he went, it was actually embarrassing. He went, it was constant. And then at the checkout, they were like, oh, you do, look at you with all your, doing a great job with the baby and the trolley. With the trolley and the baby. Where's the woman? Like, and she went, I do it every week. And no one ever says anything to me. And it really made me laugh. So I'm like, it's so simple, but it's so true. And I have to admit something. And I did clock it. And so this is how ingrained it is. Because I don't want to feel like that. Because I am appalled. I'm appalled. Because I am a victim of it. I am a victim of it. When he turns up to her dance show, it's like... Have any of you got children that do ballet? Have any of you tried ever to get ready for a ballet show? There is a 20-page pamphlet of rules and instructions. There is a
serious?
She was 4. There is a particular hairstyle that you have to follow from YouTube. There is specific makeup and lipstick. There was 3 outfit changes, a photo shoot, a rehearsal day and a show day. There was the tickets, there was the chaperoning. Yeah, I did all that. And I paid for his ticket. So I get it.
He turned up though. I mean, come on.
Yes, he did.
Was it early?
On time. On time. But, so I get it. I do get it. But I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be completely honest with you. And I don't want to reveal anything here. So I'm going to place it somewhere else. But at one of my friends' houses where I was, over the road, there has been a separation. And they've got several girls. I won't say how many, but they've got a few girls.
Yeah.
And every day, the mum, who lives in the house, gets those young girls ready and takes them to school. I don't bat an eyelid.
Yeah.
I didn't bat an eyelid. One day, he got them ready and took them to school. And I went, oh, he's even got their little long socks on and done their hair. He's even put coats on them. And then I went, what have I just done? What did I just think? What did I just think? I thought that. I thought he's pulled their socks up. They've got bows in their hair and put their coats on. What a hero. What a hero. And I was disgusted with myself because she does that every day. And I'm not like, that was just what I thought. And what is that?
But then we were talking about this, weren't we? We talked about this yesterday, about men being emasculated. Is that the word?
Yes.
Yeah, and is there a word for that for women? When
No,
women
that was
take
my
on-
question.
Yeah.
Masculated? There isn't. Like,
Yeah.
if a man is pushed into a less feminine role than he would naturally want to be in, then I suppose it's even the equivalent of like a bear gay being pushed into, like, you know, a top being pushed into being a bottom. Like, if you don't want to be a bottom, like, that's like, I don't want to be there. Like, that's more feminine than what I want to be. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's, so that is the emasculation. In, like, if a man wants to be manly and then you kind of smother him and mother him and make him do sewing and things like that, it can feel emasculated. Some men like to sew, and I'm not saying that means that you are less of a masculine man if you do. That's not what we're trying to get at. It's like, but what is that phrase? What's the word to describe a woman who, whichever comfort zone she's in her femininity, feels like she has to become more masculine?
Yeah.
What's that word? And we couldn't come up with anything.
I don't know. My vocabulary isn't that great, so I
but
don't
let us know if there is a word and educate us, because I was searching for it, because I was trying to say to Amy that I feel like at one point I was, whatever that word was, I was pushed out of my natural energy and comfort zone in as feminine as I wanted to be.
So what was your energy? What did you not want to do?
I felt wrongly like I needed to become the breadwinner, which I didn't want to do.
Okay.
I didn't want to do that because that wasn't my blueprint, and it was out of left field because I had such a young child. So at 9 months old, you kind of expect to be bottle feeding a baby when the baby's 9 months, not me. I wasn't 9 months old, but I kind of felt like I had more time being at home with her in that moment. And all of a sudden that wasn't the case. She was in nursery and I was working hard in a bank, and I was being very professional, and I was going and presenting to directors, and I was in charge of, and I had to be, and that to me felt like a real stretch. And it was, and because I needed to cope with that without falling apart, I had to masculate myself, or whatever the word is. I had to become more manly than my energy naturally would have been, because my energy was vulnerable, feminine, motherly, nurturing. I was in that space at that point. And so I didn't know how to strengthen myself within my feminine energy still.
See, I don't know if that is a masculine, feminine thing. For me, that you had to go out and work to earn money to support you and your child. But that being pulled away from your baby, that's a maternal thing, isn't it? But I don't know if you had to become more manly to work.
I don't think I did have to. I don't feel like I did have to. I feel like that was just that's the only way I knew how, because it was to become something that I wasn't, like to be almost like aggressive, shut that side off of me, the feeling side, my heart, shut my heart off and become this version of myself. And the version of myself was, who do I know that is weak and maternal and a bit of a doormat? My mum. Who do I know that is a strong breadwinner, tough cookie, nothing ever? My dad. Well, I have to be like my dad. And my dad is very aggressive and confrontational, and he don't give a fuck. So that was me. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. They're shit at their job. Get rid of them. I would like a pay rise, please. You don't like it? Who's your superior? Thank you. Can I have some more money, please? Need to pay my bills. Like, it was hardness. It was to the point, matter of fact. It was very like this, very angry, because I was modelling behaviour, and it was my masculine that was being modelled, and so I chose to emasculate myself. And I feel like you can emasculate a man. Can you emasculate a woman? Was it my choice? Was it what was happening to me? Like, I don't even know, but that it was interesting when I thought about it, what actually went on, and I didn't need to do that, because in me is a naturally powerful and empowered woman.
Well, yeah, that's what I said to you. It's like, women, you have to do everything.
You don't have to be a man to be strong and have your stuff together and to be able to cope and do things. We know that. I hadn't had that model to me. And so that's a naive misconception. And it's very uncomfortable. It's very uncomfortable for a divine masculine male to have to be weakened, because it is weakening. I was weakened. It's not that being feminine is weak and being masculine is strong. It's your natural energy. If you differ from that, you are being weakened, because it's not you. And so a manly man who feels like naturally an alpha, not everybody's like that, if he was to have to be soft and gentle and nurture and bottle feed and all things like that, he may feel like this isn't my natural energy and I feel less than myself, which is why they feel emasculated. But we almost feel like that's an insult to women, because it's like, oh, I felt like I would like a word that describes how I felt trying to be more masculine than I naturally am, because I feel like I was weaker. You know, and I didn't feel stronger. And I wouldn't expect to feel stronger. And so it isn't. I almost love that. Do you know what I mean? Because again, it's the equality of it. You know, if a man is a manly man and he's made to feel more feminine than he wants to or naturally does, he's emasculated. Fine, if that's in the English language, that's fine. But then if a woman is being forced to be made to feel more masculine than she naturally would, then where's that word? And I'm weaker. I'm weaker because I'm being manly. I'm weaker because I'm being womanly. I'm weaker because I'm being manly. I want that word. That's what I want.
But that's not going to exist, because men are seen as weaker women are seen as weaker than men, aren't they?
But this is what I mean. There should be.
Oh, 100%. But that's I feel my strength comes from my
uterus.
Yes. Basically. And I feel stronger. I think women are stronger than men, because we have to be. Because we have to deal with everything. And it might not be, you know, a physical, like we have this thing at the gym, like I'm so gender equality is my thing, but it is a bit like we're doing this challenge at the moment, and we've got a row for a certain amount of distance, and then the rest of the time you got left, you have to do burpees, and the amount of burpees you get done is basically your score. So it's 1,000 meters for a man and 800 for a woman. And I'm a bit like, I don't know if it should be done on height, because I'm short. I can row all right, but obviously I don't want to do 1,000 meters. I'd rather do 800 meters. But then I'm a bit like, there's a guy at the gym who's 6'6", and he could probably row 1,000 meters in 4 strokes. Like, he's just, because he just does it. But I know that I wouldn't be able to do that much, because it'd take me a lot longer because I'm shorter. But then I don't know if that would, because I know that women are really fast and strong. But it's really hard, because I know that it's a bit of a grey area for me with the whole strength thing with men and women, because there's plenty of women that can lift a lot heavier than some of the men can at my gym. But then equally, the strongest man would beat the strongest woman. So
yeah, but that's only physical. That's only physical strength in exercise.
Yes,
and lifting.
Exactly. So it's the whole everything else that we go through, which
we
I feel
have a
makes
lot
us
of inner strength, and I think a lot of men do see that. You know, like they've done all of those tests where they do the labour pains on them, and they can't cope. Like, just because we're built to have kids doesn't mean that the pain is any more tolerable for us. But we find a strength from within us, and that is like a uterus strength. I think that we are different. Men and women are different, and we're built for different things, and we are undeniably stronger. But the challenge can never be, we can never have that challenge, because men physically could never do what we are built to do, and where we shine. There's no competition. So they're like, well, that's what women do, and they turn their back on that because they can. But if it was the case of like, we could, if we wanted to, we just choose not to. But some men were like, right, well, then we will. Then that's a fair fight, isn't it? But with the strength, women can. And so the men have to get very feisty with it, because they have to prove themselves. Because women are already dominant in that area, and they turn their nose up it, and then have to go, oh yeah, that's easy though, isn't it? And that's nice and easy to say, and all very fun and games. But yeah, it isn't. We can't. We are unmatchable. We are unmatchable, unquestionable, and we can never prove. And I just feel like we are different, and we have our own strengths, and we have our own areas of excellence, and our own gifts, and they vary as well from person to person. And the human race is fucking enormous. And as long as we're giving people the option, if they want it, like you said, I only want to do 800 metres, but you'd like to have the option to do 1,000, like, and it shouldn't be like, well, no, you know, you're a woman. It was funny, actually. I was talking about this the other day. We went on a pub golf thing, 18 men and 4 girls, but one of those girls was my sister. And you have to neck each drink in each pub, 9 pubs, in one. So you can drink it really slowly, but you cannot stop drinking it. And they naively gave the girls a handicap. So my sister won pub golf. Because she did every single drink in one. And that was stupid of them. Because she was always going to win. Because she's not going to not fucking kick your asses. And you've given her a handicap. It isn't easier because we've got vaginas. Like, it doesn't make it any less fiddly. It's harder to carry. It's just as hard to carry a car seat. But when you've got a 6 foot, you know, frame, and you know, and a 5'2" frame to carry a car seat, it's harder for me. So I would like the clap. Not the clap. I don't want the clap. Don't give me the clap. This clap. Like, that would be lovely. And carrying like bags and bags of Sainsbury's shopping up my arm, in one arm, and her in the other, and so I can do it all in one, because I can't get back down the stairs and leave her upstairs. So and I've got 4 flights of stairs to go up and down, and I'm struggling up the stairs, and people are just looking at me, because that's surely just my life. And I'm like, no, I wish someone would help me. This is really hard.
Yeah.
It's clearly hard. I am sweating and I'm nearly crying. Please help me. Like it is just as hard for mums, just because we make it look easy. Because what's the point in grizzling about it?
Yeah.
You can't. We've got no choice. And this is why we emasculate. Because we can't cry all day.
Yeah.
We can't. So we have to do something. My coping mechanism was to get very, very aggressive. It did work a little bit, but it wasn't very fun.
Yeah.
It wasn't very fun. But yes, so we wish you a happy new year and happy birthday.
Thanks.
And we'll see you next time.
Yes.
Thank you so much for
Thank
watching
you.
and see you soon.